So today is going to be a really professional video. Today we're going to read from a notepad, because this is how I do all my ideas now. I write down everything in a notepad, and for the first time I decided to write down the whole script in a notepad, and that's what we're going to do today. We're just going to look down at this notepad, but this is still going to be a video that I've wanted to make for a long time, and there's probably going to be some mistakes here and there. But I know if I had just done this off the bat, then we wouldn't have all the great things we have here. So today's video: why do you watch, read, listen, etc. to the people you do? Let's go with this. My reading voice is it's a really good one, so enjoy this. We're all inspired by different people, but what makes us carry on looking to the people we do? Why do we read a book by a certain author? Why do we listen to a certain artist on repeat? What is it that makes us keep going back to this one certain person? Do they inspire us? Can we relate to what they are saying? Does it relate to our life? What is it that this one certain person does that amazes us, that it seems like no other person can do it? Now when I say that, I mean that you're reading all these people and you think that any other person that you would read, you'd just be like, they're crap. They're never going to be as good as this one single person. For me, writers like Jeffrey Brown, just put out one book by him because it's in front of me. I picked the best one. Cats Are Weird. Nothing to do with any of his other stuff. It's someone I will always read. His autobiographies are so real and raw that I connect with them. Now that's the thing, like two of his books, Unlikely and Clumsy, have just been about these relationships breaking down and being horrible, but his book Funny Misshapen Body was a book that sort of showed how creative you can be, and the things that you can do with your creativity, and the books you can write, and the things that you can do, and just to keep pushing what you're doing, because that's what Jeffrey Brown has done. He would just write little comics, do all things, just try and put his comics in comic book shops, and I was inspired by that because it just felt so real to what I was trying to do. I may not write books or do comics, but I'm still trying to do something with my videos and with my films. So let's get on to the next bit that I wrote here. Director Edgar Wright is someone that I also have always watched, because his films always have characters I can connect with and laugh with. Now here's the thing, that I looked at all the Cornetto trilogy recently, and even Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, and all the characters, like in Cornetto trilogy, they all have someone that's like a bit of a loner, sort of just a bit depressed and stuff, and that's the thing with, you look at Shaun of the Dead, and with that first film, you have the Ed is the one that sort of everyone's like, nah, you're shit, mate, you just sit around and you're a dealer. But Shaun sees something in him, and that's why they are best friends, because they get on so well. He's known him since uni and since college and all these things, and that's what connects you, and you see such a good relationship right to the end of the film. And then when you look at Hot Fuzz with Simon Pegg's character, he loses his girlfriend. He's just got to move to this town and just sort of be a loner there and just be apart from everything, and sort of he makes a friend there who he can connect with. And then with The World's End, there's the characters just sort of tries to push away his depression, and there's something that hits right near the end of the film that just had me connect to it. And it's weird that I could connect to every single character in those films, and with Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, with Scott being so awkward, it worked, and I sort of connect to that character as well for the awkwardness. And that's what I love about Edgar Wright films, because I can always connect to every single character in those films. So that's why Edgar Wright is always going to be one of my favourite directors that I can always keep looking back to. Yeah, I wrote here, and a lot of his films are so relatable. And then we end it with, but why do you watch, read, listen to the people you do, and what do they do for you? That's what I wrote. I want to know, what's the one sort of creator, or just any person, like that you always watch or always read? Like, why do you always read the books by them? Why do you always watch the movies by them? Why do you watch a certain actor? Why do you watch a certain TV show? Why do you watch or read or listen to the things that you listen to? What is it that does it for you? What has you connect to them so well? Why do you listen to the artists that you listen to? Why do you watch, listen, read, etc. to the people you do? Let's talk about it. Make a conversation. That's what we need to do. Thank you very much. And this is a video I wanted to make for a while. In my notepad, the next video, which everyone's going to love, is called Kill All Superheroes. So that's going to be a fun one. Why do I keep bloody throwing that's going to be a fun one. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll see you all again very, very soon. Goodbye.